Coming into game 1 of the NBA Finals, I predicted the Golden State Warriors will win this series in 6 games. But it looks like this series might be a little tough for the Golden State Warriors, because the Golden State Warriors were up by a large margin going into the 4th quarter. And then they let their lead completely slip away from them late in the 4th. The Golden State Warriors were up 103-100, and then the Celtics went on like a 20-0 run and absolutely destroyed them in the clutch. And this lead was all led by Al Horford. Al Horford was the focal point of the Celtics offense in game 1 and had 6 threes in the game, which helped them win it. He had 26 points in 33 minutes of action, going 9 of 12 from the field, 6 of those being threes. So he shot 75% in game 1 of the finals. And don't get me wrong, it was all Warriors in the 3rd quarter. They were absolutely annihilating Boston. By the end of the 3rd quarter, the Warriors had opened up a 12-point lead, but they totally fell apart leading to this. The Warriors scored a measly 16 points in the 4th quarter and could not get a bucket in the last half minute of action. In the last 6 minutes, the Golden State Warriors managed to only get 2 points, which was absolutely pathetic. And that's not to say Curry didn't have a good game. He absolutely did. He put up 34 points and had 9 threes with 5 rebounds and 5 assists in 34 minutes of action. But the entire rest of his team did not play like him, and they ended up losing in the 4th quarter because of running out of gas on their home floor, which was not a good thing to see. I told you guys before the series that Jordan Poole was going to be the X factor, because when Jordan Poole scores more than 15 points, they win at home. But this game, Jordan Poole put up a weak 9 points and could not get anything going. And the Warriors really rely on Jordan Poole in the clutch, so they lost by 12. Although this series has not started off with a bang, this series has not been clutch so far, because the Warriors absolutely choked away the game, and then there was really no clutch point in the game because the Boston Celtics were just absolutely annihilating the Warriors in the 4th quarter. But I definitely do think that these next few games will be very, very clutch, and I think these games will be really close. And a lot of people think this series could go to 6 or 7. I think so myself, but I'm still sticking to my prediction. It's Warriors in 6. So what I think will happen is I say that Boston wins game 1. Then the Golden State Warriors will win games 2 and 3. But then Boston will win game 4 to tie the series up at 2. And then in game 5, Golden State will win it, and then we'll win game 6 as well. So I think that's a pretty fair prediction on my part. So I think Golden State will win game 2, game 3, game 5, and game 6. But down the stretch of the game, it wasn't just Al Horford who was playing incredible. There were some other guys like Derek White and Peyton Pritchard you saw here and there who were putting up threes and knocking them down in Jason Tatum's absence, because Jason Tatum could not hit anything in the clutch, but no worries because all his teammates had his back. This CBS article gives the game a pretty good idea of what happened in a nutshell. In the first ever NBA Finals game at Chase Center, that was supposed to be the Golden State Warriors story, their return to the highest echelon of the basketball universe. Instead, the Boston Celtics went on an unpredicted run in the 4th quarter, sparked by lights-out shooting and pinpoint ball movement, to come away with a 120-108 Game 1 win in San Francisco, draining the life from what had been an electric, rabid sellout crowd. Golden State's too good to be true narrative was already being written midway through the 1st quarter. Steph Curry was on an absolute heater that only he's capable of, going 6 for 8 from 3-point range in a route to 21 points in the opening frame. Fast forward to the 2nd half, when a trademark Warriors 3rd quarter run turned their 2-point halftime deficit to a 15-point lead with just over 2 minutes remaining. I mean, that last stretch, in the Warriors offense was just terrible. And you know it's bad when Draymond Green is trying to score at every possession. He was doing everything he could to get the Warriors back into the game because their shooters like Steph, Clay, and Poole were really struggling. Even Otto Porter Jr. wasn't there in the fourth quarter, or Andrew Wiggins, to give them a spark. Instead, the Warriors had to watch the Celtics absolutely annihilate them and drop in 3 after 3. And the scariest part about this is that it was without Jason Tatum. So if the Celtics keep playing like this and Tatum goes off, then this series honestly could be a 4-game sweep by the Celtics. But honestly, I still have the Warriors in 6 games. The Warriors are just too good of a team for the Celtics to match, especially with their 3-point shooting. And they honestly just did not pop off in the fourth quarter, which I think was the main reason why they lost. Although it's going to take some major revisions in the film room because that fourth quarter was absolutely an unacceptable amount of basketball played by the Golden State Warriors. They could not get anything going, and Steph Curry was absolutely washed by the end of the third. But like I said, Jordan Poole's clutchness and just his play in general is the X factor in this series. If Jordan Poole goes off next game, then the Warriors are probably going to win by 20, honestly. That's it for today's video. More finals content on the way soon. Anyway, thank you guys for watching. Click subscribe, turn notifications on, like, share, comment, all the good stuff. And as always, I'm your boy Hyper Hooper Basketball, and we're out.